News Weekly. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Batman News Weekly. This is episode 130 in year 3, and we are 1 week post the Batman release. We're gonna do a little different format today because there isn't jack shit to talk about when it comes to comic books. So we're gonna knock out comics first because we have so much entertainment news. So just to give you a heads up of what's coming up, we have a big piece of news drop where all the DC shows, our movies, I should say, have been delayed. And we have a lot of theories and thoughts on why this could happen. We're going to give our week 1 post-Batman viewing reviews because we've got to talk to a lot of people in the Discord and just in general, to be honest. And we're going to kind of talk about that. We have freaking Gotham Knights news for the game, finally. And we have a lot of updates on what Matt Reeves' universe could have been or is going to be going forward, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Nightwing rumors. There's a lot of entertainment news. So right now, we are going to knock out comic reviews because there's not that much to talk about. And we cover this every week, so we just want to get that out of the way first, and then we'll dive into all that. So, diving into it first. Clay. The first comic we're going to be talking about is Urban Legends, but we've only been covering one story out of this, and it is the Batman Zatanna story. Yeah. And we were kind of on the fence with this already, but I think this is kind of like falling off the fence after this issue.
And unfortunately, I think that Urban Legends altogether has kind of just dropped off. The big thing with Urban Legends was like, oh, this is like Chip Zdarsky's like way into getting into DC, and this is kind of a way to tell all of these like cumbersome stories within Gotham and all of this other stuff. You know, we have had conversations about the whole Tim Drake thing, whether it should have been in there, whether it shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah.
Then we had fucking Batman Beyond, which was the best thing that happened to fucking Urban Legends.
I'm still waiting for that.
That is coming out next month, I believe. And then now we're here. No one, and I mean no one, is talking about these stories. No. I type in Urban Legends, and the only people that are talking about this book are talking about Batman Beyond and are talking about Chip Zdarsky. And that story is long gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that story was long gone and terrible. I was going to try to come up with something better, but I just didn't have anything. But this is no like better than Zdarsky's, to be honest. Like, it is just fallen off. And what lost me here today is there's like, I don't know if there's this weird love triangle going on or if there's something that was like there was a relationship between Zatanna and Batman in the past. Now, if you watch the animated series, you know there was some kind of relationship, but they don't really touch on it a lot in the comic books, or at least you don't see a lot of it. And not recently, at least, but you do see Constantine and Zatanna relationship stuff every once in a while. And so you kind of get that. So you have Constantine show up, and he's kind of talking to Batman. So Batman, I know in the last one we were talking about, it seemed like Batman didn't know Constantine. We kind of find out in this book he just doesn't like Constantine. So he knows who he is.
That was a little weird because of the context that we got in the last issue. Yeah. And I was reading it here, and I was like, wait, so like, I don't know what Teenie Howard is trying to really pull in the sense of like what this relationship is supposed to be.
Is this Teenie Howard?
I'm pretty sure it was Teenie Howard.
No. This is Vita Ayala.
Vita Ayala. I get those three fucking.
This is your Rosenberg
it's Teenie Howard, Vita Ayala, and freaking Ram V. I'm switching all three of them. Okay, so Vita Ayala, I don't know what she's doing with these characters because, for one, I understand the like the thruple, the triangle of like wanting to get Zatanna or whatever.
Yeah.
But like also the big thing that has been, I feel like in the last few years, in the last like 4 years, they've really been pushing that Constantine is bisexual, and even before then. And so like we get a small little, little something of that as well. It's just like, okay, well, like, should he really be like, and I feel like there's also a type of like, yes, we were romantically involved, but I like love you like a sister type thing with Constantine and Zatanna. So it's more of like a protective issue that he has with
Yeah.
Batman. But I'm not feeling it, man.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because Batman is the one that's being protective right now because he was like, look, I don't like you because every time you're involved, there's always like a cataclysmic event and you don't give a shit about anybody as long as you survive, which is very Constantine. So I like that Batman's calling him out on that. But there's this one panel that I was just like, what? Because this is Batman talking. He's like, awfully full of yourself to assume you rank high enough to get a second thought, because Constantine was like, "Oh, so I'm on your mind, or like I'm on your ranking or whatever." And
Yeah.
he was like, "No." And I was like, first of all, I don't think Batman would talk like that at all. And then Batman's rebuttal after Constantine says, "Oh, please, let's not pretend that I'm not I'm a new dealing with the broody types. I'm not new to dealing with broody types." And he's like, "Maybe I just hate the smell of your cologne." I'm like, Batman would never fucking say that. Are you kidding me? So again, this just goes down to, I just think there are some people that do not understand Batman when it comes to dialogue. And yeah, I don't think Vida Ayala knows this. And so seeing Batman kind of talk like that kind of threw me out, because then he goes into like the real reason why he doesn't like Constantine, and that's when you get that whole like you're always involved in something crazy. So he's just trying to be protective or whatever, right? And then we get the reveal that essentially what's happening is the last few times they've done something, something came through the portal and it's feeding off of the life energy that Batman and Zatanna have. So they're going to be fading eventually, and Constantine's going to try to save them or whatever. And this person comes through the portal, which we got their origin at the start of this book, which I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, so weird. We get this origin of some random kid who was a really good person, apparently, and just now is an evil, blood-sucking person. And yeah, it's just this granny and this young kid fighting Zatanna and everybody. And it looks like Constantine gets eaten or his energy is zapped or
I
something.
think like they took his soul, I think is
Yeah.
what they're implying.
And that's how the book ends. So it's, it's chapter 3. The combat over Constantine is what the next issue is called. And I was just like, not interested in this book. I was just like, I don't care. I was kind of hoping it would have dived in, I don't know, like it would have dove into more of like Constantine and Batman's past. But you brought in Constantine now, and I feel like, all right, we got to have a big battle and we got to have some stakes or whatever to save Constantine and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't know. I would have went a different direction with this book, and I don't care about these villains. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, there's nothing really that built up these villains other than the
yeah,
fact that like it was, oh, this ominous spell that went awry apparently and we don't know how.
yeah,
There's a lot of this book is, hey, conveniently this is happening so that the story can move forward.
yeah,
And I say that because like, oh, this random wholesome, you know, thing that Batman and Zatanna do now caused this like crazy freaking incident.
yeah,
Very convenient. And then, oh, let me do this warding spell to hide you. Oh, well, they found you anyway.
yeah.
So that sucks. And there's nothing that happens in this book that is really worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of not even worth talking about more at the moment. We'll give the next issue a shot. But if that one sucks, I think we just drop it.
Yeah.
Because the first 2 issues were okay. But this one was kind of the first one where I'm like, I didn't care. But moving on to another thing that Clay didn't care enough to even read. I Am Batman.
I
Uh,
will admit though, the cover looks kind of fire. It
yeah.
looks really, really cool. It is, of course, Jace Batman on the Bat Cycle or his Bat Cycle in the middle of New York. It looks really cool. And I will say this, when it comes to the like evolution of this book,
Yeah.
I feel like the art has kind of finally found its place.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the art in this book.
Yeah, the art's definitely gotten better. Now, this issue was good and bad at the same time. It was good for little things that Jace's character made kind of interesting. So he's having, because we know he's part of the Bat Force or Bat Strike Force or whatever the hell they're going to call it. They make fun of it throughout this. There's not really a name for it, but of course the media is trying to make up a name for it.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is they're trying to have a conversation between the detective that came from Gotham, and Batman, and obviously they don't see eye to eye on anything. Well, she's like, all right, we need you to go help out this guy that, got murdered in the last issue. Like, he was a rich guy, and he was like, I'm not getting paid for that shit. He was like, you're on the payroll. He was like, I'm getting paid $1. Apparently he's getting paid $1 just so he could be on the payroll, which is weird.
Nice.
And they call it like a dollar minium or something. I don't know what the hell it's like the actual word is, but it's not $1. I don't know. It's just some technical term so he could be on the books. But anyways, he was like, that's your job. Like, you do all that stuff. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, this is a murderous freak guy. He was like, he was like, you brought this here. And I'm like, no. He was like, I just got here. There's no way I brought this to New York. And he was like, well, it's happening. You should get involved. And he was like, no. He was all, there's a lot of other parts of this city that nobody gives a damn about. And I'm going to be saving those people because they're dying on the streets and nobody cares. So I'm going to be in those areas and I'm going to be putting down those bad guys. And I was like, okay, cool. That should be your Batman. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So I liked that. But they were like, no, we need your help because this guy's like literally tore each guy limb from limb. Like, he's crazy. And he was all like, okay, you know what? We're going to make a trade. He was all, I know of a big a big gun heist bust that needs to happen. You're going to go do that and I'll look into your weird psychotic guy. So the police go and they bust this warehouse that has all these illegal guns and they get that off the street, which is kind of cool. And Jace goes and checks out this murderous thing. This is where it was kind of stupid. One, at some point in the middle of this book, Jace's mom is meeting like with the city, and they're trying to set up like some trust fund or like some to help out the city. And he's like, I'm not going to help build parks and crap. I'm here to help people. Like, that's what the Fox family's saying. I'm like, you're spending Bruce Wayne's money. Like, that's all I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, in New York. Like, Bruce doesn't give a shit about New York. You know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of stupid. But also, I do not give a fuck about the Fox family.
I don't either. I don't. The freaking John Ridley.
Yeah.
Has not given me a single thing with this family that makes me care about them.
Yeah.
Because they have been assholes for the entire series.
Yeah.
So and why should I care?
I don't even remember what happened to the sister, something in the Joker War, but she wasn't a big enough character for me to care about her rehabilitation.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to see these panels of her talking about crap. Like, I have no emotional connection to this character. And so those panels are just kind of boring. I literally just skipped them. I was like, I don't fucking care. And I just went to the next, like, Batman stuff that was happening. He has, like, his guy, like, they started an LLC or they started a company so he can kind of have his undercover crap, you know?
Yeah. And
his friend, who's the tech dude, was all like, hey, I gotta find it, because it actually genuinely made me roll my eyes, and I was like, fuck this book. Let me see where it is. He's talking about he has to go after the crazy guy, right? And he's like, yo, I gotta hold up, because the guy that died, the millionaire, billionaire, whatever, he had private security, and of course, the private security guy wasn't there when he got killed, and they were like, yo, this guy looks suspicious, because he had his own security for him, but they're going under, meaning he has no money. So maybe he got fired and he didn't want to deal with the millionaire guy anymore. He could be our suspect. And they're like, all right, let's go find him. So they like trace him on his bike or something like that, right? And let me see, where does he say it, dude? He says something stupid. He was all like, yo, hold up. I got a hit on Barrows. He's essentially telling the guy, like, yo, I know you're used to crazy people or whatever. He was all, but don't forget, man, this is New York. It's just straight up New York City. Saying like New York City is worse than Gotham. And I was all like, are you fucking shitting me? Trying to say that New York City is worse than a crime-infested, psychotic, like apocalyptic every other week city? Like, it was the stupidest thing. It's
okay. I see it right here. It says Burroughs isn't Scarecrow or Killer Croc, just a dude who had a beef with his boss and took it out on him piece by piece. This isn't Gotham. This isn't Gotham's craziness. It's just straight up New York City.
Yeah. So I guess you're supposed to take it in, like, don't beat the shit out of him like you would crazy people in Gotham, but like a murderer is a murderer. Like, you know what I mean? if that's what they're assuming here.
But
But
see, I think you read it wrong because you were skimming through it. Because
yeah,
I think this is Jay saying, I fucked with Gotham. This
yeah,
is just New York City.
yeah,
I think that's the way it's supposed to be said.
uh-huh,
But I can see the context being switched
yeah,
because the IT dude, I never liked the IT dude from the very
mhm,
beginning of the series. He felt like a random, just a random dude. Again, no actual like
context.
context of these characters that I don't care about. So
Yeah.
like I can see the mishap though. Um
Yeah. So I was
but
just like,
what's up with all of this? Like, did you read any of this GCPD stuff that's going on here also?
yeah, so they kind of introduced two new team members, and of course, they're not the best team members because they've had some stuff in their past that makes them kind of shady. So I'm
Oh
like, why the
god.
fuck put them on the team with the Batman? Makes no fucking sense. But anyways, yeah, it's just them getting ready to go do that drug bust with
Yeah.
the guns and stuff. And then Batman goes and gets he gets the guy that's on the bike or whatever, and this dude's all like, "You murdered Rebel," which is the millionaire, and he's like, "Nah, man, don't touch me." And this guy ends up just talking about, like, he was like, I left because that dude's into some weird shit. Like, he's into like sex trafficking and all this kind of stuff. He's like, so I didn't want to be tied to that, man, because I knew it was gonna go down bad. And that's why he's saying he left. And Batman's just like, don't leave the city or I'll find you, essentially what he says to him. But yeah, and then they do the drug bust, and Batman is all like, yo, hey, I want to apologize because yeah, I should have been on this billionaire's freaking case because it's crazy shit, man. And the lady's like, "Oh wow, you're apologizing to me? I didn't expect that from Batman." Okay, so the one thing they do in this book too is they say that Bruce Wayne or Gotham is the Batman, and Jace is just Batman. And I'm like, you
What?
shouldn't be. Yeah. So they reference this two or three times in the book that he's not the Batman,
He's
he's
just Batman.
Batman, and that's it. I'm like, you shouldn't even be Batman. Like, it's
I
dumb.
I really hope, and again, people don't twist our words. The way that they introduced Jace coming to New York sounded like a really cool idea.
Yeah.
The problem is oh, well, since he's Batman, he needs to have psychotic people to
Yeah.
fight against, just like Batman. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's what he
because
has right here.
like I'm looking at this dude at the very end of this issue.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a new rogues gallery for Jace.
Yeah.
Jace is like himself in this book. You've even said it is good with just cleaning the streets, dealing with mobsters
Yeah.
and gangs and stuff like that. Keeping like some of the shit that I shit on for Batman movies of like,
Mhm.
oh, keeping it grounded and shit, I feel like would work great with Jace.
Yeah, it should be, he should only be dealing with that kind of stuff because it gives me a reason to buy two books. Like if I was buying all these books anyways.
Yeah.
Like Batman can do the supernatural crazy rogues gallery fighting, whereas Jace can do just the mobster gangster stuff, which we don't have enough of.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he should do. Um and I think if you ever wanted to bring Jace back to Gotham, you just give him a different outfit. Like give him a new title, and he was like, "Look, Batman, I'm not here to fight the crazy villains, but if you need me, I'm here. But I'm here to clean up the streets of Gotham, man. Like I want to just fight in the Narrows. I want to fight in this area." Well, Batman would be like, "Stay the fuck out of the Narrows. That's Catwoman's area." But like every other area, like I think he can go fight in other areas, and I think that would be a cool thing. And like I wish that's kind of that. I feel like that's how you should do books. Like a lot of people didn't like Batgirl by Burnside, but at
Mhm.
least she had her own area. She was like, I'm taking care of Burnside. Burnside's
Yeah.
mine. And
Yeah.
I like that. That was cool because New York City's fucking huge.
Yeah.
So it's like, which is Gotham's based on. So you can assume Gotham is fucking huge. And it's just better that, all right, Damien, you have this side. Freaking, like, I mean, technically, we know there's probably a Hell's Kitchen somewhere. I don't know what they would call it in Gotham, but,
Yeah.
you know, so and so, Stephanie, you get this side. Freaking you know, Batwoman, you get this side. Like, that's how you should plan out Gotham.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know. I think giving Jace, I mean, we said this from the start. Like, they're just going to make Batman in New York with a bunch of crazies, and it shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ridley always seems like he's on to something and then just farts it away.
Yep.
So like, I don't know. But yeah, I wish he would stick to that because again, it's funny, man. Like right when we first heard about Black Batman, we thought, oh, this is going to be very political. And I don't feel like we've had a strong political story here.
No.
So some people probably love that, but I'm like, I thought you could have dealt with way tougher issues with this book, and it would have kept it out of the Batman realm, which a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to deal with political bullshit. But
Yeah.
like, this was the book to do social commentary with if you wanted to, and they're
And
not.
I feel like there is subtle hints at it,
Of
but
course,
like I also feel like, what if he's not allowed to?
yeah,
Like he's
yeah,
only allowed to like sprinkle it in
yeah.
instead of making it a political, like a giant political statement.
That would be so dumb, though, because one, I mean, he's won an Oscar for a political. I mean, not even. It's historic. Historic.
Yes.
That's what I should say. It ain't political, people. That's fucking history.
Yes.
For a history-based film, but I don't know. But you have other writers at DC that do. I mean, Tom King doesn't shy away from that kind of shit. So it's like it's a worse look if you're letting the white guy do the political commentary
No
and not
shit.
the black guy. So I don't think it's that. Maybe it's Ridley. Maybe Ridley got Gotham syndrome. So I don't know how his books have been doing this whole time, but like maybe if sales were bad, he was probably like, okay, I can't go the route I want to go because people aren't going to buy this. So I'm going to start doing the superhero shit and it'll boost it up. Because
that
Gotham
would make
was
sense.
kind of like that. Gotham was supposed to be a police show that had sprinkles of just like cameos or villains. And the first season was like, okay, people aren't liking this. We need to up the ante on these super villains. And then it just became a super villain show that Batman would eventually be a part of. And that's what Gotham became. And so that could be happening to Ridley here. I don't really know, but I don't know. I was really expecting some more political commentary from him. And he's definitely tried to do it in the background, but it's never turned out to anything. And he's actually, I feel like sometimes these books have just changed stories like midway. Yeah. Remember when he got unmasked? That'll always bother me. He was on a bunch of screens unmasked, like,
and it did nothing.
It didn't do shit. So never understood that. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for I Am Batman. Story's got good elements. It just feels like I don't know what direction they want to go with that. Anyways, moving on to Detective. I'm not gonna lie to you, Clay. I skimmed this book. I didn't really read it.
So this is the infamous Batman is Back issue.
Yeah.
And dude, it was not even that.
No.
I don't know what Tamaki is trying to do with this Arkham Tower story.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like, hey, we can't really do anything with Detective until Chip is ready to be on the book. So come up with a really good story that could kind of like I said, it's because the Batman title is monthly. Let's, beef up Detective in order to pick up the slack. And I feel like that has hurt Tamaki's Detective run so much because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. But I think this is in these situations, which I always want the ability to just talk to somebody that works at DC. Like, who makes these plans? Because it sometimes feels like they're not part of the community or they don't read their own product.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it feels like. And like me personally, if I ever got on a product, like let's just say I was going to do a Batman film, right? I would hire somebody like Clay who reads fucking comics all the fucking time to fact check all my shit. I'd be like, hey, we're going to do this in the film. Make sure there's something in the comics or whatever that people can relate it to and blah, blah, blah. Like that should be a job.
With the ears that I have low to the ground, because I do have a lot of friends that are close to insiders.
Yeah.
From what I've been hearing since, and this is kind of going to piss people off, but since Jeff Johns fell off the comic realm, editors at DC have just been like, do what you want.
Yeah.
Do whatever. We'll cut this out because it's Batman related. Yeah. Oh, we'll cut this out because Bendis is holding on to this. "Oh, we'll cut this out because we just don't want you to touch that." Like, but they don't want to put in the work to be like, "Hey, this is like comic canon," or "Hey,
Yeah.
this is where you can't take this story because of these things that have happened in somebody else's book." Because of this new idea of and it's not even new anymore because it's almost a year old now,
Hmm.
is the infinite frontier. Is, oh, you can do whatever because everybody has free reign.
Yeah.
And it's not looking great because of it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't understand. Like they definitely need to get something out there and just have somebody like fact check. The thing is you could get interns and pay them cheaper than your editors to do that. Like this is just your book. Like somebody that's going to college, it's like, "All right, your side gig is look, these are the next books or the scripts that you're going to be reading for the next month and a half or whatever in advance. We want you to go in there and circle everything that's similar or whatever or cross reference." And you can just hire a bunch of interns to do that. Like
Yeah.
I think pay them. Don't be that asshole that does it, makes people work for free. But just saying, like, if people want to get in on the business, I feel like that's a good stepping stone. Like,
Yeah.
make them write, sign NDAs or whatever, so they don't leak shit. But I think that's just kind of how you work it. But I don't know. So yeah, nothing really happens in this book, but there are two things of note. Obviously, you already mentioned that Batman saves, or if Batman shows up, all he does is Nightwing gets thrown out of a window. Batwoman cannot save him, which I kind of liked. I like sometimes when the heroes aren't able to make the save, and then you have a secondary save somehow.
There was tension, but
Yeah.
because, like, let's be honest, if there wasn't a Nightwing book,
Hmm.
this scene would be so much worse. Like, it would be
Yeah.
that much more terrifying. Like, every single character here has a book except for Batwoman.
Yeah.
So, like, if it would have happened to her, everybody would be like, "Are they about to fucking kill Batwoman? What the fuck?"
Yeah.
But like, I knew Nightwing was gonna survive, but now I'm thinking, okay, how is he gonna survive? And so, like, he gets thrown out the window, and Oracle's talking over the intercom and everything, and it's like, they just fucking they threw Nightwing. Somebody get him. Somebody get him. And
Yeah.
Batwoman's like, I'm on the 12th floor. I'll get it. Like, I'm trying
I
to get
like
there
she
as fast.
blew out the window or
Yeah, she
whatever. That
blew
was
out the
cool.
window. She shot her grappling hook, and she jumped and she grabbed the rope that Scarecrow had wrapped around Nightwing, and then she fucking let go. Like,
Yeah.
it was like the momentum and stuff, just like it. She dropped him,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh fuck!" And everybody's flipping out. And then you see the Batwing in the bat plane in the background,
Yeah.
and you hear Stephanie is like, "This is Batgirl. What's going on?" And all of a sudden, you just see this one giant panel. This is Batman. I
Yeah.
got Nightwing. And it's like,
Yeah.
and that was it. That was it. There wasn't like a follow up or anything because we're still dealing with this story. It
Yeah.
was just that one panel, and then he's gone.
Yeah. And that was it. And then it ends at. There's still something else I want to talk about in this book, but then it ends with Psycho Pirate talking to what's his name's wife,
Nakano's wife.
Nakano, and the crazy scissor girl that we don't really still know much about comes in with a gun and it just says "blam." Do you think she killed the mayor's wife or Psycho Pirate?
I think it's Nakano's wife.
Yeah, I think
Now
it's
it in the way she answers, because she answers Psycho Pirate. She's
yeah,
talking to Psycho Pirate. So you can assume, oh, maybe she killed Psycho Pirate. But unfortunately, and this is gonna sound bad, Psycho Pirate is much more important than
yeah,
Nakano's wife.
for sure. And it gives reason for maybe a Nakano heel turn. I would like to see, like, we don't ever build up enough good people to turn them bad anymore.
Oh, so you're saying like Nakano's wife is dead, and then
Yeah,
he's like, I fucking trusted you, Batman.
yeah.
The fuck is
Well,
wrong
not
with you?
necessarily maybe Batman, but he just doesn't trust the city anymore. Like, he's like, this city's been shit. Like, I think it would be cool for somebody to come back. Like, if he just started building like an evil empire for some reason out of revenge for villains. Like, what if there was like, he's more of an anti-hero? Like, what if he's like, I'm gonna build, because that's what you don't ever see in in Gotham. You don't really ever see the anti-hero like organizations.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate you, Batman, but you're doing it wrong. Like, we're gonna start trying to kill villains. and so they're just as bad, but they're going against the bad people. So now Batman has to do with two different type of
Okay,
organizations.
okay, I see. It's not, "Hey, Batman, you're part of the problem. I'm
Yeah,
gonna get you." It's, "Hey, Batman, I understand where you're coming from, but fuck off."
yeah,
And they're gonna start killing villains.
yeah.
Ooh.
Because then he's just like, fuck, now I got to deal with these people that are not necessarily bad. They're just going after bad people, but I can't allow the killing, which is
Yeah,
what their end game is.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So, because if he never catches them in the killing, then there's not really much to hold them on.
yeah,
So they can just be in the streets kind of doing whatever. And he could work with them too. And he'd be like, look, I know you have information. I know you're stalking these people. Like, I need to find this person. And they're like, okay, I think it just adds another element of shit Batman could deal with, which I think would be kind of interesting.
yeah,
Because they try to do that with Red Hood, but he always just leaves the city for a while and
yeah.
then comes back and then he's like, all right, I'm good. We're family.
Well,
You know?
and I don't know if you saw this, the Harley Quinn imposter.
That was what I wanted to talk about. That was the other thing that I wanted to talk about. So the Harley Quinn imposter turned it out to be Harley
Harley
Quinn.
Quinn. Undercover.
I was just like, so it seems like a Harley Quinn thing to do, right? Like it's believable, but it was still kind of dumb to me.
It was dumb. Like, it
Yeah.
happened, and I was like, hold the fuck. I had to stop reading for a bit. I actually
Yeah.
stopped reading, went back to work. Yes, I read these comics at work sometimes.
Yeah.
I went back to work and then came back to it. And she's like, "Oh yeah, it was me undercover the entire time because, I just had to be here." And I'm like, this is the biggest fucking MacGuffin I think
Yeah.
I have ever seen. Because all she was there to do after she saves Dr. Meridian, is
Hmm.
to shut down the security. So
Yeah.
that way, people on the inside, aka freaking Stephanie, Nightwing, Huntress, can do the shit that they need to do
Yeah.
without being outed. It was a little dumb. It made me laugh at the beginning, but I'm just
Yeah.
like, and then I'm going back and remembering all the scenes with that fake Harley. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, man?
But I mean, it's interesting undercover. I will give it that.
Yeah.
Because it's someone who thought she was Harley Quinn who is actually Harley Quinn. And so I was like, it's believable in Gotham. Because we thought that character, I was like, I want that character dead. I want that character dead. And then it turns out to be Harley Quinn. And I'm like, that it was stupid. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was stupid. But I can see it making sense. So I don't want to shit on it for that reason, just because I
Yeah.
thought it was stupid. There are some things that make sense that I still think is stupid. And yeah, I genuinely thought that was just kind of dumb. But I like that they're still trying to make Harley part of the Bat family.
Yes.
So at least that's one consistent thing that's, I guess, staying from, Tynan's run.
Mhm.
Um, Although when I saw Batman Save Nightwing, had Tynan wrote that, he would have been like, he would have broke some bones in his body or something. Remember when he fucking tried to catch fucking
Oh,
Ghost
yeah.
Rider or whatever, Ghost Rider, fucking, Ghostmaker and shit. And he was all like, I know, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull my shoulder out of my socket when I do this 90-point turn or whatever. Like trying to make it
Yeah.
so specific. And
So mathematical and
I was
shit.
like,
It's like,
bro,
that's not fun. It's not
yeah.
fun.
I was like, calm down, Matt Reeves, chill out. But like, yeah, anyways, what we want to talk about is the end of this book, is what the thing that's been carrying Detective this whole time, which
Yes.
Clay has told me he's got some interesting information about after we cover this.
Yes.
But we know in the last time that the group of the Forgotten People, which is now kind of what they're naming themselves, and our main redheaded kid character, the boy, is what everybody's been calling him apparently.
Yes.
The boy is still working with Killer Croc, and they're stealing food from other people. And we know that Penguin is still looking for him to kill him because he runs into one of his old buddies from the previous part of the story, and they knock him out. They're about to kill him. He's like, no, we don't kill people. We don't need to kill people. And he was all like, oh, but he tried to kill you. He's like, that's not the way we do things. And
He's like,
so,
what you need to do, and he's talking to the guy that almost killed him. He's like,
yeah,
you need to surround yourself with people that actually care, making
yeah,
his army bigger. This
yeah,
kid has learned, dude, over the
for
years.
sure.
I love the way Rosenberg has really developed this kid in just 10 issues.
Yeah. And so we see him delivering this food to Leslie Tompkins, which is a big character in the Batman universe.
Yep.
And she's all like, where is this coming from? He's like, it's not really important. And she's like, I'm going to turn my blind eye. Because she sees Killer Croc. And she's like, I do not want to accept anything if he's involved. And he's like, he's not that bad of a guy. Like, he's just trying to survive like the rest of us. And he's like, don't care. I'll turn a blind eye because these people are starving in here. But if you keep bringing him here, I will not accept food from anybody anymore. And he's all like, she was like, but we're getting more and more people every day. And he's like, I can only do so much. Like, we're running out of food to find. Like, I don't know where to go. And she's like, I know somebody that can help you. So they go meet in the park area, which it's Ivy has like a sign of like, don't fuck with me. Like, don't come in here. Yeah. And we get Helena, which is Huntress, meeting up with the boy. And she's all like, you sure you don't want to go talk somewhere else? Like, Ivy's going to be listening. She's like, no, she's totally listening. But as long as you don't, she's like, I've crossed paths with Ivy's before. If you don't go in there and she knows you're not going to cause any harm, there's no problem. So she can listen all she wants. And so they have this conversation about like, I know about a cache of weapons, money, and food that you can go get, but that's up to you. You need an army. And he was like, I don't have an army. He was like, you got a whole bunch of people though, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, that's good enough. You'll survive. So they go down this subway area or whatever to go steal this stuff. They see a bat symbol, and then Huntress comes out of nowhere in her old school costume, which was interesting. And he's all like, you tricked us. This has been my biggest issue lately is, does everybody just know Huntress's identity?
I don't
Because in Detective, everybody and their mom knows who
everybody
Huntress
apparently knows who Huntress is. Now this, I think it was more so he was able to deduce, like, while he was having the conversation in front of Ivy's home. Mm-hmm. I think it, like, he just had that feeling.
Yeah.
Again, we've been talking about how like this kid has been through some shit.
Yeah.
And he has learned from that shit. So he's like, this person's probably gonna like try to jump me, whatever. So at least I'll have my people. And so when he expects it to be her, she comes in and she kind of outs herself at that point.
Yeah.
And like, it's not necessarily him finding out that it's her. It's her being like, yeah, that was me talking to you, kind of thing. And I think during this time, because it is no man's land, like, other than Batman, it's like no holds bar. Like, everybody's just trying to survive. So Huntress is kind of feeding into that because of how her personality was before New 52.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, I'm going to kill every motherfucker who tries to kill anybody. That was really Huntress's way of working.
I want to see Jason Todd bring that up sometime. Like, how are you working with her, bro? She killed so many more people than I did. Like, come on. Like, what the hell? Like,
I mean, for real, though.
She did.
But I really did like this interaction. And he was like, you tried to trick me, blah, blah. This was your plan all along. And then all of a sudden you just hear somebody say, no, it was my idea. And I just love the fact that this kid thought that Batman was dead this entire time. And the very first thing he says to Batman, I'm not afraid of you anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not like you can't do the shit that you used to do to me. Like, no way, man. Like, he is ready to like poke up to him and stuff.
And he hits him like straight up. And Batman just goes, ugh. And he just takes the hit and he's all like, bitch.
No, but I love that, like, he's like, I don't even know you, man. Like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, this and this and this and this. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh shit, you're that kid. Like, I've always been trying to help you, blah, blah. And this is when the boy goes on this huge monologue about, like, what the people have been going through during No Man's Land. From the moment, like, the one thing that I loved, because he doesn't know the difference between Azrael and Batman.
Yeah.
And, like, the armored Batman and this Batman. So he was like, where the fuck were you when I was stuck in Arkham? Where the fuck were you when you fucking paralyzed me? Where the fuck were you? Like, he is like laying in on Batman.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he has like reinforcements and Huntress is like ready to fucking kill people. And Batman's like, hold the fuck up. And it's like all these kids with like these spears.
Are children.
Yes.
They're like 5-year-olds with spears. I'm like, yeah. Like, can you just, but I've always wanted this. I've made this joke many a times. I just want a comic where you see somebody beating the shit out of little kids. Like, fuck you, dude, bam, bam. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the movie Step Brothers, but that ending when they beat the shit out of all the kids is fucking hilarious. Like, that's just always a fucking funny moment. So
Oh,
that would have
dude.
been funny. Like, see, you know how R34 makes a bunch of spicy stuff? I need somebody to do comedy comics. Like, they take special scenes from things and just make like funny shit out of them. Like, people need to do that more. But anyways, yes.
Right here, like Huntress is ready to like, well, even Batman, he's like, get ready. And then they see that
Yeah.
it's kids or whatever. And Huntress is like, oh, you're trying to make us the bad guys? Oh, fuck. Like, Huntress is
Yeah.
ready to beat the fuck out of some
Yeah.
kids.
Yep.
Batman's like, hold the phone. Like, chill out. We made a mistake.
Yeah.
And he says, you're doing good. You are not necessarily hurting people in
Yeah.
a way that is causing a huge problem. You're trying to make what little you have better.
Yeah.
But just know, when all of this gets better, I'm coming after you.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you kidding me? Like, do you not see the shit that's happening right now? You think it's going to get better? You think things are going to actually go back to normal?
Yeah.
And then Batman just fucking walks away.
Yeah. And the kid's like on his knees, like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
you know, and and it's still continuing. I'm glad it's not ending here. So how many more issues of Detective do we have?
I don't know how much more we have of this, but immediately after reading this today, I went ahead, I messaged Rosenberg, and I was like, I need to know, is this going to be collected on its own after you're finished? And I said House of Gotham specifically.
Yeah.
He said it's getting its own hardcover.
Ooh, hell yeah. Okay.
Not just trade paperback. It's getting its own hardcover.
Nice. I'm buying that.
I am so pre-ordering it.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as the solicitations are up, I'm going to pre-order it. I
Yeah.
am so hyped for that.
No, this is one of the better books that we've been reading. I think it's my best story of 2022 right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it has a no-name character, which is hella interesting. But yeah, this has been the best thing of the week in comics, to be honest. And I don't know how the hell we managed to talk about 42 minutes of comic books, because everything was kind of shit this week. But even when there is shit, we were able to talk about stuff. But we're basically doing the show backwards right now, so that's all we have for comic books. We are gonna be moving on to viewer questions now, which I have not went to the YouTube channel. I had a conversation with one of the viewers on YouTube that was kind of telling me, I heard this from two people. I heard this from Drew, which is one of our main people that we talk to. He's our unofficial fact checker in Discord. Drew is, and he was saying that we're haters and stuff, but he likes to joke around or not. But somebody else kind of took those sentiments that I don't know if he was necessarily joking or not, and was like,
the person that you were actually like replying to and stuff.
yeah, I haven't talked to anybody since then.
So from what I'm getting here, it's like, hey, it's okay to have criticism, but don't have criticism, is what essentially he's saying.
Yeah, he was saying some of the things that we were criticizing weren't real criticisms, but I'm like, I feel like you're selectively picking, because yes, like, and one thing I wanted to bring up, like, because I know I mentioned it, other people have brought it up. They're like, did you really have a problem with like his body? And I was like, no, I mean, just, I would have preferred a bulkier Batman, but no, I'm not going to sit here and be like, this movie was terrible because Robert Pattinson didn't look bulky enough. Like, that wasn't like a real, genuine criticism. It was just something I was like, he could have looked better. Like, he just didn't seem intimidating.
The other criticisms we had,
Alfred being useless, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Batman eating C4, like all of that. Like, that was valid criticism.
Yeah. And yeah, this person just kind of is like, but what threw their argument out the window was they were arguing with me about the movie without have seen the movie. And
that was it. He was like, oh, by the way, I haven't seen the movie, but I just feel like you guys are hating on it.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we love your opinions. For anybody that's been in the Discord, this has been the hottest topic of the week. we have been talking about the Batman for a week straight now since the last podcast because other people saw it when we saw it, and we've been talking about it every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day. So we love your opinions. We will always talk about your opinions. We don't necessarily need to agree with each other, which is totally fine. But at least bring a valid argument and have seen what we're talking about before you bring in your arguments. That's all I'm going to ask. So we can at least be on the same level, because it just seems, kind of ridiculous to argue about something that you don't know about. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's like
Yeah.
debate 101. You should know the product. But anyways, going on, do we have questions on the YouTube? I haven't visited it in a hot minute.
So we do have one from Red Hood. Red
Okay.
Hood is he's in the Discord. He even said, "Hey, I left it on the YouTube." I feel like we've answered this question before,
Okay.
and we may have talked about it a little bit in the actual review of the Batman. But his question is, I know you guys aren't excited for the sequel, but if you had to choose, what villain would you be interested or like to see in a sequel?
Nobody that's been in a movie prior. I've said this a million times. I want to see Dollface or
Mhm.
Dollmaker. I forget his name.
Doll
I think it's
Man.
Doll. It's Dollman?
Yeah.
Really? I always thought it was Dollmaker for some reason.
I'm pretty sure. Let's see here.
Um, but no, I floated the idea that if we are dealing with this, Reeves,
Never mind.
like
You're right. It's Dollmaker.
Dollmaker? Okay, yeah. Dealing with this Reeves, like realistic tone, all this kind of jazz, grounded, as they say. I want Scarface. There is no reason you can't do Scarface because it's just a ventriloquist. That's
Yeah.
literally all it is. And I think you can make a really good Scarface character. You can bring in the mob element and just have, like, dude, who would you have play the ventriloquist? Not Scarface, but the ventriloquist. You know who
I
you could, I think could be really good? Larry David. Just a goofy ass Larry David as the ventriloquist, because the ventriloquist, depending on which iteration you go with, they have like tall and lanky. I would go with tall and lanky ventriloquist, and
that is actually a really good
right,
casting.
I would go with the tall and lanky ventriloquist. But like Tom King uses like the short and pudgy ventriloquist,
Yeah.
but I would go with tall and lanky, which is what you see in the animated series.
Mhm.
And then you need to have somebody with a good voice for Scarface. So like Scarface would be his own actor, but like just the voice.
Ooh. Okay.
That's how I would do it.
Yeah. I would go. Fuck. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think that who would be in
Because
this. I you
I
kind
don't know
of
if I would want to go with like a rough voice, like a not Thanos, but the guy that plays like Big Lebowski, homeboy, I forget his name. Like he's got a good voice, but I don't know if I want to go with him.
Oh yeah.
Or if I want to go with somebody a little bit more that has like a comedic, interesting New York type of voice, which I think is like a John Leguizamo. You know what I mean? Like his voice for Scarface. I don't know if that would work necessarily. But like you have to have somebody with an interesting voice to play Scarface. He's like, what are you talking about over there? You know what I mean? Like you need to have that kind of good voice for Scarface.
It's gonna sound weird. The dude from Everybody Loves Raymond, the brother.
You know what? I could actually see that voice coming out of a puppet. Yeah, I could see that. That would be interesting. But yeah, I would go with Scarface. So
Yeah.
very obscure character, and you can still do it in Reeves's universe.
Yeah.
So
In Reeves's universe, I would have to say
I'm assuming you're picking somebody that's not in the movies already.
yes. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anybody that's already been done, because there's so many people that are like, oh man, because of the stuff that's happened, like they've lined it straight up for Two-Face. I'm like, that's been in the Nolan trilogy.
Yeah.
And like they're like, oh, with like the aesthetic of Gotham and everything, I could totally believe the Court of Owls is already there. And I'm
That's the rumor for the next movie, is what I've heard.
well, people feel like Pattinson and Dano accidentally jumped the gun,
Mhm.
and they've both made comments about Court of Owls, and
Yeah.
they're like, in an interview they pushed like Jeffrey Wright to be like,
Mhm.
oh man, you really need to read this book.
Yeah.
And so people were like, oh, were they doing research? Like, do you think they're both like gonna be in the next movie, like the Court
Yeah.
of Owls and the Riddler? And it's like, I
I
don't know.
feel like Zack Snyder books are just given to anybody that is associated with any DC product. You
Yeah.
know, they're just
Yeah.
given to him because it's one of the hottest books you can get.
Yeah.
So
I would do
it's also in the next game that's coming out.
yes.
So
Uh I think the only one, well, I mean, honestly, with how the movie ends,
mhm.
Anarchy.
Yeah, Anarchy would probably be a good shout right now. Especially, I mean, so Drew mentioned this. I don't think it's his. I don't think he had a question this week, but he doesn't think that we're doing No Man's Land. So, and
It
some,
literally ended with like,
yeah, but some people are assuming we might get a time jump.
and I've heard that. And I don't
Mhm.
know how much I would really like that for it to
Yeah,
be like, oh, the city is in complete chaos and disarray. Jump to the next movie. Oh, everything's fine.
yeah.
You know?
I think No Man's Land is going to play out in what we'll be talking about later in that so-called Arkham City or
Oh, yeah,
series.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think No Man's Land plays out in that, and then the next movie is a time jump.
Okay,
So I
okay.
mean, I could see that happening. We'll give our thoughts on that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think those are the two villains. I mean, like I said, somebody asked me this on my stream as well. Like, who would you pick? Or like, how would I don't know? I was actually talking about this while I was playing Apex with a couple of other people, and they're like, well, who would you pick as your stuff? I would go Dollmaker, and I would never pass the two villain limit. I would never do that.
Hmm.
But I would also reference other villains, but I just wouldn't show them. You know what I mean? Just to build the universe a little bit more. But I think I'd probably go Dollmaker with cameos of Professor Pig because they're both kind of the same type of villain.
That's who I wanted. I knew I said something. I want Professor Pig in a
Yeah,
movie.
I
And
think
my
that'd be
other
cool.
co-host for another show that I do, he was like, "Oh, they would never do Professor Pig because it doesn't sell seats." And I'm like, "Yeah, do you know why? Because nobody knows who it is because nobody's ballsy enough to fucking do it."
Yeah. Can you just imagine like that all you gotta do for the tease trailer is have somebody be like, no, please, oh, I swear I won't do it. And he'd be like, no, I just want you to be my next art project. And then you're panning in a long freezer with fucking racks of pigs just hanging, and then it zooms in on Professor Pig's face with a fucking meat cleaver. And then he's like ready to like make art.
I'm sorry. If you sell me a Batman movie in the same kind of light that you're selling fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but
Hmm.
with Professor Pig,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what
But
you gotta do.
everybody just thinks it needs to be Two-Face, it needs to be Joker, it needs to be Riddler. Like, okay, we get it. They're the fucking triple A characters, but there's so many other badass Batman characters that I think, you know what? I think those top tier execs are scared that other characters will be better than Joker, better than Riddler, better than because one of the moment one of those characters makes it onto the big screen, they're the next big Batman villain. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
who it is because everybody's
Yeah.
be like, "What the fuck?" That's and half of the audience is gonna be like, "I can't believe this new character." I'm like, "No, bitch, this ain't no fucking new character. You just got to read comic books." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, this new character is amazing because look at what happened with fucking Peacemaker. Nobody gave a fucking shit about Peacemaker, and now he's everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what you would do with other villains. Bada bing, bada boom. But they just don't want to take the chance. They want to play the same fucking 5 songs over and over and over.
Hmm.
Um, you know what I would also do is I would if I ever redo like if they ever redo Bane, I think you should get like a big muscle building guy to do Bane with the luchador mask, no mouth, and then you hire somebody to do the voice acting.
Ooh.
I think that's what I would do. Because I would hire somebody like the Mountain from Game of Thrones. That
Oh,
big old dude,
fuck.
like I'd go big. Although I would want to see if there's other big Latino dudes out there because it would fit
Yeah.
better for
Yeah.
Luchador. But I would hire somebody really big and like that to play Bane with the classic Luchador mask, cover his
And
mouth.
you never see his face.
You never see his face, and he's just Bane. And then you have the voice acting because as long as his mouth stays covered the whole time, you can just make it believable. Like, you never have to show his face. Although Hollywood has this obsession with showing the actor's face, which I'm glad we never got that with Tom Hardy in
It's the
Rise.
idea of, oh, you have to. Well, technically, you did. You saw Tom
Did I?
Hardy's face at the very end.
What? But wasn't his mouth like? I haven't seen that movie in years.
No,
Wasn't it like
so
bloody
it
face?
was the flashback. It was the flashback of him being in the well in darkness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, at
that's
least he,
what
well,
that's
as he
with
Bane,
the
he never was.
reveal of
Yeah.
Talia or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I haven't seen. I fucking forgot that. Although I have been. We're gonna talk about it when we do our post review. But I've been watching old clips of all those movies, and I never realized the plane scene when they're
Oh, you
going
posted
down.
it in
Yeah,
Discord.
I never noticed one of those stuntmen eat shit, dude. Anybody go just watch the Bane scene again? And when Bane's henchmen zip down to the thing, this had to have been a one shot thing. Like, there's no way they could do it again
Yeah.
because the stuntman eats shit. He like runs right into the plane and he's like trying to like get his gun back up to make the scene happen, and they just cut to another scene. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucking hilarious. But it works because even if that was a real situation, like, they could fuck up. Like, they're not gonna be perfect. But yeah, that was just fucking interesting. But anyways, so yeah, that would be our villain picks. We have some other questions though. Let's see. Okay,
Question from
Ethan.
Ethan. This one was interesting. Ethan,
Okay.
I applaud you for having a question that I actually pondered on.
Yeah, people that are in the Discord that are listening to this know Ethan very well.
We've been roasting him. He's a good sport.
Mhm.
So Ethan asks, should Batman always be dark or be kind of light for younger viewers? In the movies, quote unquote, kind of like Batman Lego movie. Now, I will say this. Batman Lego movie is on the way
Yeah.
opposite end of the fucking spectrum.
Yeah.
I say you don't need to go that far.
Mhm.
You need to have a happy medium. Because at that happy medium, you get comic booky Batman.
Yeah, I agree.
We get blue. Now, also, I didn't fucking share this with you. Some people shared the concept art in the Discord,
Yeah.
but they forgot to share one other photo. They considered the blue and gray for this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and I posted that somebody was also posting like Pattinson's suit but with color durations. People are like, I don't like that. But they always go with like this ugly gray blue. And I'm like, you
Mhm.
got to go with the Captain America blue. Like, it's more navy, and you got to go with that. You can't go with the super bright blue. I don't think that'll work.
Because
You got to go with that navy.
And again, the way your camera works, well, for instance, Zack Snyder,
Mhm.
he made a Superman suit. He went with the costume design to say, "Hey, this blue needs to be this tone because at that exact tone, I can change my camera settings to make it into a black costume." He
Nice.
did that on purpose. Same way you can do here. You put it a certain tone, you just change some of your settings in the VFX, and you can turn it into a crisp navy or a
Yeah.
super bright blue or whatever you want.
Yeah.
But it's always got to be black. Always
Yeah.
black. Always black.
Yeah. I will, if I ever achieve that dream of making a Batman movie, that would be it's got to be blue. It's gonna
Gray
be
and
blue.
blue, man.
You know, it's gonna be blue. Because it doesn't make sense that you can't make that work. Just look at how, I mean, granted it's all CGI, but a lot of Batman is CGI anyways. Look at how
Mhm.
fucking good Dr. Fate looked. Like, that blue looks good on screen.
Yeah.
So like it's doable. I just don't understand it. But anyways, no, I don't think it always needs to be dark, and I don't think it always needs to be happy. I kind of agree with Clay. Yeah, you could be, there's that happy medium. And the thing is like, I feel like, I don't know, they feel like people are just, I don't understand the realism thing. I just don't get it, because it only happened with Nolan recently, but it's because those movies made billions of dollars. They're like, that's what we have to do all the time. Like, you know what I mean? And I just don't understand it. Whereas that's the only time I wish Snyder would have been successful, because we probably would have gotten the best Batman we would have ever seen.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you know, he had very mixed reviews, because I went back and watched a lot of that shit. Again, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but like, fuck. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it needs to be dark all the time. It's kind of like how we talk about in the comics. Batman doesn't always need to be depressing. He could be married to Catwoman and still be fucking dark and crazy and everything. Just because you're married doesn't mean life has to be depressing. But technically, I'm not married. Clay would have to answer that on his own. So I can't speak for married people here. But anyways, so yeah, that's kind of how we go from there. Young says, if you rewatch The Batman, do you think you'd enjoy it more? So I haven't rewatched it. I don't think you have.
No, I haven't.
We both had our own conversations with a bunch of other people outside this last week. So here's the thing. We obviously, if you listen to last week's podcast, and I hope we have returning viewers, I would not be surprised if we lost some people just because they probably thought we were haters. But I thought about this movie every single day. I will say that. I have thought about this movie because, dude, genuinely, when we walked out of the theater and we had the podcast, and the next day I was like, I'm going to be one of those people. I'm going to be that guy that didn't like the one thing everybody fucking likes.
I remember the text. Guys, I remember the text. The day after we finished recording, the just random text that I got. There was no conversation between me and Juice. It was, I can't believe how disappointed I was in that fucking movie, man.
Yeah. like it bothered me. It genuinely bothered me. Because like even when I was covering this, like all this stuff very freshly, like 4 years ago or whatever, and I would always hear people bitch and complain about stuff. I'm like, man, some of y'all are just haters. And granted, there are a lot of people out there that are just haters to hate. Like they exist. Don't think that just because somebody doesn't like something, they're automatically a hater. We feel like we try to give proper criticism. We just didn't like it. And I've talked to some other friends that really enjoyed this film on their first viewing, and they're into film and they're into all this other stuff. And I was all, yeah, dude, I was like, I wanted to love this film, but I just didn't. I just found myself like picking apart the film of like, what didn't I like? Because like, and I think a lot of it was the action. Like, I just don't think it was exciting enough. So I honestly just want to go back and rewatch the action scenes because the story was okay. I didn't think it was anything great. A YouTuber I'm currently feuding with, air quotes, Ludwig, actually went viral on Twitter kind of because of his Batman take, which was very interesting.
Man.
And he pretty much had the same take we had, which I found very interesting.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
His wording, did you see his actual video on it though?
I need to go back and watch the actual video because there's a lot of people that are cropping the shit out of it and like making it sound super bad or whatever.
So you need to see his video where he explains it. And he even says, he was like, I think people got hooked up on my Marvel comparison.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people took out of it.
And it's, dude, the context, this is why I tell everybody context matters, people. Like, context is huge. Always go back and check the original source before you go just live off clips because you can make anybody sound bad off of context. But if you watch his video that he, Ludwig always pokes fun at anything that he does, but he was like, holy shit. He was like, I didn't know comic book fans are just as bad as like K-pop fans or like other kind of crazy fans. You know what I mean? He was like, if you upset them, like this is their life and whatever. Yeah. It was very interesting. But essentially he had the same views we had because he said that the detective shit was boring. Like it wasn't anything great about the detective stuff. Yeah. And he was I didn't want a Marvel movie from this. He was but even if you were trying to sell me on a, drama movie, there wasn't really much of that. And I was just like, and he is a general audience member. He doesn't he is general audience to the max. So I thought that was very interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I can't answer this because we know that we didn't enjoy Birds of Prey really the first time we watched it. And we said it was a little better on our second viewing. Yeah. Not the best, not anything like that, but I liked it a little bit more. So maybe I will like The Batman a little bit more. I just don't know.
We've both said, but we're probably not going to pay money to watch this movie again. So we'll watch it on, I believe the next date that it's going to be on HBO Max is April 19th or something like that. 15th.
45 days from
45 days from its initial release. Now, I will say the one comment that I made on the podcast, and I continued to say it on Twitter and stuff like that, because I feel like it is one of my truest statements, is that this movie was a detective story with a Batman filter. And people were like, well, what does that mean? Batman's the greatest detective ever. Like, that's what it's supposed to be. And I said, no. You're misinterpreting. Yeah. It is a Batman filter. As in, go to your phone, press the Batman filter, and it makes everything look like it's Batman. Yeah. Meaning, if I take that Batman filter off, it's another movie.
Mhm.
Meaning, I can put Sherlock Holmes and Watson and Irene Adler and Moriarty in the same places that Riddler, Catwoman, freaking Batman, and Gordon are in, and it would
Yeah.
be the exact same movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's the problem that I have.
I can agree with that. Yeah, it didn't seem like there was again, those first 20 minutes were fucking bomb. Like they were
Yeah.
dope. But after that is where I lost interest. And yeah, it's been very interesting to talk about people with this, and we're gonna essentially dive into it in a little bit. Which, I mean, can we even answer Kid Stu's question right now without talking about the other stuff we're gonna be talking about on the podcast?
No, so
Because
we'll hold it until later.
yeah, we'll hold it until later. So let's just dive into our post week 1 Batman review since we're kind of already talking about that. So I have asked everybody because like my group chat, which is people that are not super comic booky, there's like they watch comic book movies, but
Mhm.
they're not like hardcore like I am. Like it's
Yeah.
like my friends I grew up with, they're like lawyers and fucking policemen and all these. Everybody's like fucking different shit. So like it's just my childhood friends that grew up. And all I have to say is like they were kind of shocked when I told them I was like, okay, so I gave them my thoughts on the movie, and they're like, "Man, it sounded like you hated it." I was like, "Dude, I thought it was boring as hell." Apparently, one of the other ones went to go watch it. Like one of my friends went to go watch it, I guess, at the same time, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I agree." He was like, it wasn't great," and I was like, "Huh." And I was like, well, "Let me know when the rest of y'all watch it." A couple of other them haven't seen it. They were like, "I liked it." They're like, "There's some stuff I would have changed, but I liked it." And I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
cool." I talked to a few people that I play games with, and we were in a chat talking about it, and we all kind of also weren't a fan of it. Everybody laughed at the bomb neck scene, was what I heard. One of my freaking Flores, which is in the chat, I was talking to him. He was like, "Dude, my dad busted out laughing when that shit happened," and I was all like, "Same." Like we threw up our arms, but the same shit. Like we were like, "Wow, like what?" And yeah, so there was that. But according to Discord, we did have a lot of people that enjoyed it. Like a lot of people
Mhm.
are like, it's 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, whatever. So I think what we said originally on the podcast, it does seem like people either really liked it or they really didn't like it.
Yeah.
And one interesting take that I got from this was my dad asked me, he's like, "So did you go see the Batman?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, I thought it was boring." He was like, "That's interesting because I talked to like his employees and they took their kids and they also said they're like, that was boring." So like kids don't give a shit about this. Granted, this is not made for kids. But like when kids don't think Batman is cool,
Well, no, I apparently one of my friends was in a theater
mhm.
and with like had families in there, and then as soon as in the movie, the commissioner that's in there, that's not Gordon because it's
Yeah.
Lieutenant Gordon. The commissioner at the very beginning of the movie says "Happy fucking Halloween," and like 3 families just got up and left.
What did you think that wouldn't be? Like, I'm curious. Like, I know how I was when I was a little kid. So, like, when you're seeing Catwoman get changed, the little boys in there are like, "Oh, oh, oh." Like, I know how I was watching movies when I saw people in their underwear and stuff. I'm just like, whoa. So, like, I'm curious. There's like some kids that are getting like sexual awakenings while watching the Batman right here. But like, holy shit. But yeah, like I heard a lot of people. I don't think anybody defended creepy Batman. Like everybody's like,
No,
yeah, that
no.
was kind of creepy.
I've
Like,
been on 2 podcasts already talking about the Batman,
yeah,
sharing my thoughts. Of course, I'm the odd man out on everything. But
mhm.
when I mentioned, Bruce Wayne's kind of a creep, right? And everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Nobody has defended that scene yet. Like, it's kind of creepy, man. Like, it was
Yeah.
unnecessary dialogue. Like, it was
Hmm.
just unnecessary dialogue. And yeah, that was interesting and very interesting the way they just did that. But yeah, man, I think, post thoughts, this film was something I still think about every day. So Matt Reeves made that happen. But, and I kind of want to give my perspective on this and like why, because some people are like, "Oh, you're thinking about it so much. You're probably just a hater." No, like what I learned at a younger age or in recent years is back when I used to be very stubborn and narrow minded growing up. I used to think if I didn't like something, it was just because I didn't like something. But as I grew older, like I don't know who I heard this from, if I heard it on a video or what, a movie, but I always heard like if you find yourself being triggered or you dislike something, don't just put all your hate towards that. ask yourself why you don't like it. Like, dissect it. Like, what is your problem with it? Like, if you have a problem with women, is it because you used to have issues with women? Have they always rejected you? Like, just kind of like dissecting what the problem is and try to figure out why you don't like it. So I have just been sitting around at times being like, what didn't I like about this film? And I've just been kind of going through it like that. I read an article because, dude, I went back and I watched randomly V for Vendetta because I was just in the a movies thing and I wanted to watch.
Oh, what was that? What was that whole thing with the article saying fucking V and Vendetta, comparing it to Bruce? What was that?
I've been reading anything and everything about the Batman, the comparisons and everything, because everybody is saying there's been so many articles saying this Riddler is god tier villainy, that he is on par, if not better than Heath Ledger, which is complete bullshit. Because if I was going to go see the Batman, Paul Dano's Riddler would be like the third, fourth, or fifth reason I go watch this film again. I would never go. He is not anywhere close to the reason why I would watch this film. And they're saying that is like the biggest reason. Like, he was just great. And I'm like, no. And so some people were saying that he's the modern day V from V for Vendetta.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, what? No fucking way. And that was something that was put out there. But when I was dissecting the film, I read this one article talking about how Matt Reeves filmed his fight scenes, and it was specifically the elevator scene. And he was talking about they filmed it in parts instead of like one straight shot. Like, it was filmed in multiple parts and then I guess stitched together. And I was like, I wonder if that's why I didn't like the fight scenes, because they were filmed in segments so they don't seem fluid. Like, the one scene that is in my brain is at the very end when he breaks through the glass and he's fighting everybody on those rafters and he grapple hooks across the screen. It looks like he's very slow in grappling hooking across the screen for some. He's jumping from like one pillar to the next, and it just looked really slow to me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, did they have to CGI that part? Like, was he not actually swinging? And I don't know, man. That's why I want to go back and watch the fighting scenes and see why I really didn't like it. Because, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem very fluid. And I was talking to one of my film friends about this because they love those shots. They love the wide shots. And that's one of my biggest gripes with it. And like, I was like, yeah, I just don't understand it. I don't know. It just didn't feel as exciting to me. No. Whereas this made me go watch all of Zack Snyder's Batman stuff, and holy shit, the way they cut that action together is fucking insane.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah, and so like, this Matt Reeves made me appreciate Zack Snyder, and this is the biggest like plot twist ever. Like, and granted, like I shit on Zack Snyder for a whole bunch of other things. I have never been like, the warehouse scene is garbage. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm turning now. Like, I've always been in love with what he did with Batman. I've said that a million times. Yeah. I have my rating for BVS has went down over the years as I've watched it more and more, but that stuff is still top tier. And so I went back and I just started watching old Batman films. I'm like, what did I love about these that I didn't love about the new Batman, you know? Yeah. And I went through there and I was watching the fighting. The Nolan fighting is still fucking garbage. But like, just the way the characters interacted and stuff like that in those movies is what I really liked. But the visuals of Zack Snyder's Batman are top tier, man. Like, they're better. They're better than the Batman. And I was just like, dude, it's insane. And then the way they just did some of the stuff, I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, I went on a binge to watch all that stuff again. And then I kind of got into comic books randomly, and I just started to watch V for Vendetta again. Yeah. Because V for Vendetta is one of those movies that I feel like the Batman wanted to be, where it's a really good film that's in a comic book universe. Yes. And so I was like, why did I love V for Vendetta? Let me go watch V for Vendetta, because I feel like some people wouldn't even know that's a comic book if you're not seeing the DC logo at the start. You know what I mean? Yeah. It could have just been a random political film with a masked man. So rewatching that, I was like, oh my, the character development and the storytelling in that is fucking great. And the way the climax and everything hits at the end with the crescendo and the storytelling, like the layers and layers of storytelling.
And also the shit about, we have to sell the actor. Yeah. We have to sell the face.
Yeah.
Like, bullshit. Yeah. You could see him emoting with
Yeah.
a fucking motionless mask.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason we can't have wide eyes is because you can't give emotion with wide eyes. Complete bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah. V for Vendetta launched a whole hacking organization. That's
Yeah.
how powerful that movie was. Like, they're knocking out crazy people, like, in governments and shit.
And they're
because
still
like,
doing shit
yeah,
today.
they're trying to do shit against Russia right now. Like, it's nuts. So, which I thought was hilarious because Ethan was like, when I was all like, oh, V for Vendetta, something, he was like, is that the hacker guys? I was like, oh, face palm. I was like, God
You
damn it.
fucking Gen Z.
Yeah. I was like, God damn it. But yeah, anyways, I thought that was fucking funny. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think what we thought was going to happen with this film happened. People either really like it or really dislike it, and that's just kind of our post thoughts. But I enjoyed the conversations, hearing from people. I won't lie, even if it seemed like we were going back and forth. Hearing why people liked it and why they didn't was very interesting. And I appreciate everybody that listened to the podcast last week and you didn't get upset with us. Like, that was cool. And there wasn't really anybody like that. Like I said,
No,
you know,
and like you said, we had actual conversation about it. In
Yeah.
the spoilers, you know, yes, Drew was kind of dramatic with the whole haters
Yeah.
thing or whatever.
but he's joking most of the time. So,
But the conversation in the spoiler chat was flowing for, like you said, an entire week.
Yeah.
So the interaction has been really, really fun, guys. Remember, if you want to join the Discord, link's going to be down below in the YouTubes, and usually in the show notes as well.
Okay. All right. So that's enough about the Batman. Quickly, because this is one thing I did see, and again in all my research, is I wonder if I didn't like the fighting because it was a bulky bat suit, whereas Affleck's was more of a skin tight suit, and so they were able to do more.
Yeah.
So because that was a problem with Bale's apparently too, was the suit was bulky. Because I was watching some behind the scenes, and they were like, "Oh, we wanted to have a more." They were talking about why they made Affleck's suit the way they did, and I was just like, "Oh," I was like, "Maybe that." Because you know what it made me think of? The way Batman was fighting in this movie, it reminded me of how. And granted, it was better. The Batman was better. I want to clarify that. That the way how Deathstroke was fighting in the Titans show, it was kind of bulky, and it's because they both had those layered suits.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that was part of the problem. So that was something I wanted to point out. But man, let's see. Moving on to the Arkham series, I guess spinning off of this. So we've been mentioning for so long that we haven't heard shit about the GCPD show. Like, what happened to it? Why is it gone? We haven't heard anything. Turns out it has been shelved, ladies and gentlemen. Usually when something's shelved, it's gone. Yeah. Very rarely does something come back unless somebody leaks footage a la Deadpool, which they didn't film anything here, so we're not going to get that. The GCPD show has been shelved, and according to Matt Reeves, this show sounded amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. You just had me listen to the little soundbite of the interview that he was in, and according to Matt Reeves, this was going to be following a corrupted officer in the GCPD. And the GCPD was going to be known as, basically under the table, known as the biggest gang in Gotham.
Yeah.
That sounds really fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
Very much in the realm of reality right now with how shit has been going down since
America,
forever.
at least.
Yeah, in America. I think that would have been fucking awesome. It would have been in year one, so we would have had a little bit of an origin for, seeing the first appearance of Batman, possibly, and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which we kind of, romanticized when we were talking about it, when we first heard about it. We're like, oh man, this is going to be freaking Gotham Central. Batman only has to be in the shadows. He doesn't have to be seen. And this isn't going to be a Gotham thing again.
With what Reeves did in the first 20 minutes of the Batman would have made so much sense.
Yeah.
But, so he does interestingly use the words "they were" in that series. So hinting at somebody wasn't necessarily wanting this as a concept. So maybe executives, meaning Reeves doesn't have all the power that we think he has, at least not for the shows. But I think that, dude, I think the people that love the Batman were going to watch this show no matter what. We're going to watch this show still. We would have watched this show no matter what. Because I think sometimes shows are better than movies. I think some concepts just need to be shows. And hearing that the way Reeves is kind of referring to it now is that interview made it seem like the GCPD show was going to be his thing, but he's saying like, oh yeah, we've evolved that idea to be something more of this horror-esque thing that's going to take place in Arkham.
How does that evolve into Arkham?
It's bullshit is what it is. He's trying to say he doesn't want, I feel like he doesn't want you to know that they didn't like the GCPD idea enough that they had to go to Arkham. Or at least because there was that tweet comes from somebody that was a part of that production, and they were like, yo, I gotta say, like, you gotta promote your wins and you gotta promote your losses, is what the tweet was. And he was like, and I hope this was one that hurts because they're not gonna make this GCPD show. And he says that hopefully it happens again in the future.
I feel like this was the Gotham effect. Oh, there's not enough villains in here. There's not enough super villains. There's not enough like draw to the general audience.
Yeah, it's stupid. You can win anybody over with a good trailer. And
I'm sorry.
Promotion.
Do you know how many fucking people watch True Detectives on HBO? Do you know
that
how
was the
fucking
craziest thing?
Like that show fucking exploded.
Yeah.
Like I knew what HBO was back in the day, like, but I never really considered paying for HBO until people started talking about True Detectives.
Yeah. 100%. Alexander Daddario has a great scene in True Detective. If you guys want to go check that out. But yeah, I just don't. It was funny because somebody, one of our people in Discord, Vinny, was all like, I don't like, nobody cares about cop shows. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like 75% of TV shows are cop shows. Like,
it's true.
My family loves Hawaii Five-0, SVU, like all of those cop-based shows that have ridiculous plots. They eat them up. They love them.
Yeah.
And, the general audience just wants to watch random cool shit. That's all they want. And some of the best shows of all time, The Wire, have a strong cop element. Like, so I don't understand why the GCPD in the Batman wouldn't have worked. Now, I'm curious if this is the reason why the Boardwalk Empire guy left. Because they were going to go to the Arkham route instead of the GCPD route. Because remember, we were hyped for that. And so now I'm kind of glad he left. Because he was probably like, I don't want to be tied to that shit. Like, we could have done a great cop drama. But now you want to do this people in masks kind of shit. And I think this is going to be Gotham. I think it's going to be Gotham 2.0 with a bigger budget and maybe some better people around it. But I'm afraid that it's going to be like a flavor of the week kind of thing where you're going to have like the main person in this Arkham series is going to be a doctor, a psychiatrist, something like that, talking to different villains. And it's going to be something like along those lines. And maybe it's kind of like what do they call them? An anthology where you can do like one episode each and it's just kind of talking to different villains. That way you can expand the universe, which would be interesting. But my real idea that I think they're going to be doing is they're using this series to make that Joker character at the end of the movie become the Joker. That's what I think's going to happen.
And I said this on my other show. Why do I want these characters without Batman?
Yeah.
Why do, like, the whole point of the idea of what comes first, the chicken or the egg, Batman or the villains.
Yeah.
If Batman isn't an element, they shouldn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. But it just goes out to the idea. Like, I don't know if they're just like, well, look, people are like Peacekeeper. I'm like, Peacemaker. I was like, well, Peacemaker spun off from a movie that people really enjoyed. Like, you can't just introduce all these characters and not, like, who are they going to be fighting? The GCPD? That's not going to happen.
And also, the Penguin series has officially been greenlit.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm interested to see what that's going to happen, but I think that's going to happen in No Man's Land.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to take over the territory. He's going to do all that kind of shit, and I think that's what's going to happen. But yeah, man, I'm not excited for the Reeves universe going forward. That GCPD show, we were like, dude, if it's Gotham Central, that's going to be great. And Gotham Central had corrupt cops in it, which I thought was awesome. So I wanted to see, like, I just don't understand why that can't be made into a show. Like, they just throw that out the way and you could have had villains in it. Like, it didn't make any sense because Gotham Central had villains in it. So I don't know. In a year one telling, you could have told some origin story stuff for Batman, which maybe you could have had some more Alfred in this show, build up that character and make us
Yeah.
why we should care about him,
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, I'm not excited for what Reeves is doing here. I'm gonna watch the shows because I think shows are better sometimes than the movies. So I'm definitely gonna be watching them. I'm gonna be watching them, but I'm not excited because I wasn't a big fan of the movie, and now you're taking away the one show that I was really excited about, and you're gonna give me one show about a villain and another show about a bunch of other villains, and I'm just like, why? Why should I care?
Yeah.
So don't care about that. But yeah, that's pretty much all the Batman related news that we have. Man, okay, before we jump into this other stuff, because we're Super Auto Pets, that's a game I've been playing. Super Pets. We found out that Keanu Reeves is Batman, which I thought was fucking interesting. I made a joke. I trolled my people in Discord. I was like, already a better Batman than Robert Pattinson. And it was just Keanu Reeves talking as the Batman in Super Pets. But that was interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting, like, I knew he was in the movie. I wasn't expecting him to be Batman of all
Yeah.
people. And guys, I will say this movie isn't for us.
Yeah.
I don't like the animation. I don't
Yeah.
like the Batman costume and
I
just the
might take my niece
design.
to see it though. So
If my little sister somehow gets a whiff of this and nobody wants to take her, I'll probably take her.
yeah.
But other than that, like, probably not watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see if my niece wants to go. It depends if she likes me that day. My niece will love me and hate me every other day, so maybe that'll help be a good uncle for a day. Going from there, man, I'm just so interested. We have so many things. Let's knock out. Have you been reading this news about the CW Gotham Knights show that's been coming out?
I see it on my newsfeed. I'm just like, scroll.
So, I don't know if Dick Grayson is a part of this anymore.
I don't think so.
Because, well, we have some Nightwing news that we're about to talk about, but they're bringing in a new orphan that Bruce Wayne has adopted. I just read this.
They're also bringing in Carrie Kelly.
Yeah. And people, so there's this weird conversation that happens a lot. And it's
I know where you're
it's
going
kind
with
of
it.
true. It's
I know
kind of
where
true.
you're going with it.
Yeah. But every red-headed character has been cast as a black actor. And so it's funny that one other small demographic, granted, redheads are usually white people, but like, I just find it hilarious that every redheaded character does get cast as a person of color. And redheaded people are like, what the fuck? They're trying to erase us from existence. Like, bro, like, once is like, it's not a big deal. Twice, it's like, that's a coincidence. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, you're just like, okay, there's a pattern here. Which is like, what is happening? Yeah, we're not gonna watch this show, so you know what? If you're a young actor coming into this show, I wish you the best. We're not gonna watch it, so it doesn't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I just saw that I'm not hearing about, they're casting all these other roles right now, but nobody for Dick Grayson, which was originally the plan. But now it's going to be some random character that has never been in the comic books as one of Bruce Wayne's orphaned adopted sons.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so that means they're going to be able to give him his own suit and do whatever the hell they want and just make this random character. And he's probably going to be forced into comics somehow.
He's going to be in Urban Legends.
Yeah. I wish all these actors the best, but at the same time, I hope this pilot fails. So, because
I do not think, well, it's the CW, so
yeah.
I may have to eat my own words, but I don't think it makes it past pilot.
I hope not. I was so happy when the Canaries one didn't make it past, because I was all like, Black Canary, I don't want to see her anymore. I'm tired of her. I don't want to see, well, I don't even remember her name.
Katie Cassidy.
Katie Cassidy. Fuck out of here. Although I like her in video games. She was in one of these weird interactive games that I played. She was cool there.
Yeah, she was in Detroit.
She was in Detroit?
I am pretty sure she was in Detroit.
I played it. She was in that one iPhone game you could buy.
Oh, she was the officer on that game.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm probably getting confused with. That's the one.
That was a cool game. I just fucking hated her character as Black Canary. So when that was done, I'm like, yes, It should have always been White Canary. That actress should have always been Black Canary and stayed Black Canary through that whole series. But no, we're gonna be Lola. Fuck that. Anyways, Gotham CW, Gotham Knights, whatever the hell they're calling it. Don't care. But that's the news in case you are interested in watching those shows still. Speaking about the real Gotham Knights, though, the fucking video game.
I am so mixed on this date, dude.
Why?
Because Abby is pregnant. And I think that's around the time. So here's the deal. I've already talked to her about this, and then she gave me the
We haven't talked about this on the podcast.
Yes, okay. I should say I've said it on every other podcast. Okay. So I'm gonna be a dad. Yeah. Terrified with my life. I was keeping
the secret, so I didn't want to say anything. I was just like, bro, you didn't say we were gonna talk about this.
Terrified for my life right here. But we are assuming that the due date of the child is going to be sometime in October or November. And I was like, oh shit. Because the big joke was, if it happens around the same time as The Flash, Abby, you have to hold that sucker in. I'm gonna go watch The Flash. Yeah. And then her dad like reassured me and was like, oh, well, I've heard that like the first baby can take up to 48 hours of labor. Yeah. But like after that, like a baby can come as quick as 20 minutes. I was like, it's our first kid. Abby, you're holding that sucker in. Yeah. And then
48 hours.
And then when the due date for this game came out, I talked to Abby about it and I was like, see, now here's the thing. I have all of my sick days. Yeah. And I wanted to use it for this game.
Yeah.
But now you're pregnant. So do you think you could have the baby on like October 24th and then I could play the game too? And she's like, I can't just choose when the baby comes.
Doesn't work like that, Clay. That's gonna be funny because me and Clay were all like, all right, I call Batgirl. He's like, I go Nightwing. But
we are gonna still stream it. I've talked to her about it. She's like, as long as you can have moments where the baby, I'll have to take care of the baby. Like freaking, I'll have all nighters and I'll just have the baby right here and we'll play fucking Gotham Knights. We're good.
Yeah, so that'd be interesting. It's coming out October 25th, 2022, barring any kind of crazy delays, because we already know the other one got delayed 2023, which is for the best because you shouldn't have two Batman games come out in the same year, in my opinion.
Exactly.
At least 6 months apart, I think, because there's going to be DLCs and all this other crap that comes out for them. That's why I'm playing for Horizon Forbidden West, and I was like, there's going to be a DLC of this eventually. Mm-hmm. So, like, I want to get a lot of this main stuff. Some people that have started playing it after me have already beat it. I'm just like, I don't have that kind of time anymore, man. I'm like, damn it. But yeah, so Gotham Knights finally gets a release date. Like Clay said, I will definitely be streaming this game. So definitely come subscribe to the YouTube channel. Come hang out on those live streams. We'll talk about it more in October. And Clay will be there if he's not at a hospital waiting for his child to be born. So there's that. Interesting thing, side note from this, because we're talking about video games, Kevin Conroy, I don't know if you saw this, confirmed there is no Arkham sequel in the works. So just in case anybody was curious about that, like, is Kevin Conroy coming back to do an Arkham sequel or something like that? He was like, no. He was all these kind of things, like unlike, movies and stuff, video games are such a heavy front-loaded like project that everybody and everything has to be paid like early on. Yeah. So he would know about something if it was happening. So he was like, there's so many voice lines and all this kind of stuff, and you constantly have to work. Like, you get paid in advance, and there's nothing in the works. So if you were hoping for an Arkham sequel, ain't gonna happen. At least not right now. And Kevin Conroy ain't getting any younger. So I'm assuming they're probably
time for a new Batman.
Yeah, they're probably looking for the next Batman already if they don't already have them. But that is what it is. And then not the last thing, but before we go into the main topic of this podcast, Nightwing Rumor finally got an update from Dylan O'Brien himself, saying, because this is gonna be an interesting conversation. We saw an article a while back that said Dylan O'Brien has been offered the role of Nightwing, but nothing about being accepted, none of that kind of crap. He's just been offered to it. Dylan O'Brien has been, I don't know what he was promoting or why they asked him this, but he was like, yeah, I've heard about those rumors, but nobody's made me any offers. I don't know anything about this. And I've seen the rumors so much that I had to ask my agent if there was any truth about this. And that's kind of the quote. So,
This
you think he's
is,
lying?
I think he's bald-faced lying. I'm
Yeah?
sorry. This is the new Andrew Garfield freaking, oh, I'm not in the movie. Oh, that was all Photoshop. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
like, and even Patrick Stewart in this whole multiverse of madness thing, you know, it's clearly
Yeah.
his voice, and somebody asked him about it. He's like, who? What movie?
I'm
What are we
old.
talking about?
Yeah.
Basically is
Yeah.
what he's, and like as soon as like the interviewer laughed, he like smiled about it. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you're in the movie. So I think Dylan O'Brien is lying through his fucking teeth
Yeah.
because I think that it is a bigger contract than we might have thought. I think he is going to be like a multi movie deal.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get his own movie. As I think late as November or something like that. What's his face that was supposed to be doing Nightwing has still talked about it. He's still like, that's my passion project. I still want to make it. DC put it on the shelf. I don't know what's happening over there, but like, there's hopes that it's still gonna be revived. So I'm just waiting on DC. So does this mean that if he does show up in Batgirl, and this could pan out to what we're about to talk about? If he shows up in Batgirl, does this automatically give him his own movie? Like,
I think it does. I
Yeah.
think you can't introduce a character like that without giving him the limelight. I
yeah,
think.
yeah. So yeah, Dylan O'Brien may or may allegedly not offer the contract, is what he's saying. But Jason Momoa said he wasn't Aquaman for 4 years. So
That's
just
the
an
truth.
FYI. Dylan O'Brien could have this already, and people are already doing fan art and all this crazy stuff. Some of it has looked good, some of it has looked awful.
Yeah.
I just hope he doesn't have a bulky suit and it's a skin tight suit.
Give him the skin tight suit. Don't
Yeah.
give him the armor.
Yeah, I think the
Don't
armor
give him
looks
the
terrible.
Injustice armor.
Yeah,
no.
You need to go the texture of Zack Snyder's Batman suit
Mhm.
as Nightwing, and I think that works. And he's a gymnast, so he should go skin tight. Obviously, and they're gonna have to have butt shots, right? Like they gotta throw that out there for all the ladies. It's like they're
Mhm.
no, they don't objectify men. You want to know how many butt shots are gonna be in that movie? They're gonna need to be a lot. All right. But you know what? It's also guys are gonna be like, yeah. But all right, moving on to our final topic, which was the talk of the fucking town yesterday. DC has delayed all of their movies. All of them. And
All
one
of
of them
them.
got pushed up. But
Yes.
all of them have been delayed. And it
So-
was weird because it started with one.
Super
started with
Pets
one.
and Shazam, or sorry, Super Pets and Black Adam switch places. That was the
Yes.
first announcement. And we're like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? And then like fucking dominoes, my Twitter fucking exploded.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's like the nerd apocalypse that day, dude.
Yeah.
It angered so many people.
The Flash got pushed a year. Got pushed a year.
A year. 2023. I
Well,
sent
technically
you
it's like 6 months, 7 months. But still, almost
6 or
a
7
year.
months. I sent you the tweet about it. Aaron Couch, he is I can't remember where he works. He is for the Hollywood Reporter.
Mhm.
He gave the new Warner Media slate. Shazam 2 got moved up to December 16th. So I love freaking Sandberg,
Yeah.
the director. He's
Yeah.
amazing. He's hilarious. First Shazam movie got pinned between Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Yeah.
Shazam 2 against Avatar 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually
And I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
So Shazam 2 is in December 16th. The Flash, June 23rd, 2023. Aquaman is in March 7th. Holy shit. Aquaman's going to be before The Flash now.
Yeah.
It's Aquaman is March 17th, 2023. That is literally
there's
in
theories on why we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have holy shit, they made a Meg 2 movie.
Is that the Big Shark movie?
Yes, with Jason
Oh, okay.
Statham.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, Didn't that come out like 10 years ago? Like, that movie's
Oh
old, isn't
shit!
it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like 5 years old. And then Wonka with Timothy Chalamet,
Chalamet.
yeah,
Yeah.
is December 15th of
Yeah.
2023.
I didn't
But
know that movie was getting made.
I genuinely thought it was like an April Fool's joke or something last year.
Yeah, I saw a photo of him and I was like, why is he dressed like Wonka? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't understand it.
And they're making an actual Wonka movie.
Yeah.
But as far as the
I
DC
wonder,
films
you think
go,
it's grounded? He's all fucking beating the shit out of
motherfucker.
kids. Ah, I would see that film. Wonka just beating the shit out of kids. Stop eating
This
my
is my
fucking candy.
chocolate, bitch.
Yeah, yeah. On the bed, he's going around and like killing like Hershey's and killing fucking Oreos and all these other people that have like chocolate.
Oh shit.
Damn, I want to see that.
Oh
That would be
fuck.
a badass thing.
But
You
the
think you could ever get a brand to sign off on something like that?
I think
Like,
so.
if I was a co-owner of Hershey's and they're like, hey, we want to make a show with Wonka, but like beating the shit out of Hershey's, would you be? We'll brand your shit in there. You're just gonna get the shit out of you. Yeah, like
I
why
feel
not?
like that's an easy like fucking meme in Family Guy, dude.
Hell yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly.
Yeah. Anyways,
But
go on.
The Flash.
Yeah.
This is our next appearance of a Batman
Mm-hmm.
that we know of.
Yep.
To Batman,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be pushed for another year. This movie was announced, The Flash was announced in 2014.
Yeah. Supposed to premiere in 2018.
It was
Maybe?
supposed to premiere 2018.
I could be wrong about that.
If this date finally sticks, 9 years.
Yeah, that's insane.
9 years from announcement to actual release.
Yeah. To be fair, though, BVS was promoted for like 5 years too, though. Like, it was for a long time. Because
It was 2012 was when they made the announcement of
because
BVS.
it happened at San Diego Comic-Con. Then I think it happened. There was another trailer at Comic-Con because I was there for like the third time it happened at Comic-Con, I think.
Oh, wait, no, not 2012 because Man of Steel was 2013. So it must have been 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14 was the first year. No, 2015 was the first year I went to Comic-Con. And I didn't get into it. I didn't get in that year. I got in the following year to Hall H. And that was when all of them came on stage. And I got to see that whole trailer. So, no, that was for Justice League, though. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting my dates all fucked up. But I know it took like 3 years of promotion for that
Yeah.
movie. And everybody's hyped for it. But, yeah, so... Did you see the theories that we were kind of throwing out there? And this kind of like goes into Kid Stu's question that we're talking
I
about.
saw one that's like Pattinson for Batman.
Oh god.
DCEU.
Yeah. So the theory is like, because you mentioned you were like, oh shit, Aquaman's before the Flash. The theories are, is whatever's happening in the Flash, do they need to push it so far back to make all these other movies make sense? So like whatever's happening in Shazam, whatever's happening in Black Adam, whatever's happening in Aquaman, all of that happens pre-Flash. So whatever they're changing in the DCEU, it wouldn't make sense and it would confuse people, and people would be like, oh, the continuity is all fucked up. They just changed the universe, but Aquaman's over here doing this. They need to have all those films get made first. That way they can change everything after Flash.
I could see that being the reason.
Because everybody was confused with, like, what was the Far From Home, right? Like, everybody's
Yeah.
like, how is this after Endgame? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody's kind of confused or whatever. I don't know. I didn't watch it. But I mean, I did, but I didn't pay attention. But yeah, so, like, that was one of the things. So do you think that's going to be why it got pushed? Or is this just part of the WB Warner Discovery crap?
I think that it could be a continuity thing, like y'all are saying. It's, hey, let's move some things around so that way the audience can be able to view our movies in a light that's like, hey, we actually know what the fuck we're doing now.
Yeah.
As far as it being like a Discovery Warner thing, that's interesting. Because I think that is being finalized within the next month or two.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be done this summer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so going to Kid Stu's question, he's like, do you guys think the new Flash release date has anything to do with returning and or removing actors in the DCEU, or do you think the changes will be purely story based? Now, this is interesting because there's possibilities now that you're pushing this a year that you could add or remove actors if you wanted to. Because check this out. Check this out. So let's just say they are going to change the DCEU, and anything that happens in Flat or anything that happens prior to that is just going to get retconned or whatever. Like they're going to do whatever. Because we've heard rumors of cameos of pretty much a lot of the like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, all these people showing up in Flash. Those are rumors, no guarantees. But yeah, this could be their biggest thing. If they wanted to add more to the Flash right now, they have a whole year to do it now. So they could add more cameos and do shit if they wanted to. If they wanted to change something big, they have the time to redo that. But we saw that happen with Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it turned out to be kind of shit. So that kind of worries me. But what if, and this is a big what if, huge grain of salt, all this kind of shit. What
Ben
if
Affleck's back?
we know Ezra Miller made that stupid comment? So,
oh, you were being serious?
I'm being serious.
Fuck.
Because, again, what do you do with Michael Keaton? Like, it doesn't make any... You're pushing this... You're taking another year off this man's life, and you're going to have him keep being Batman? Like, you know what I mean? Because now, Batgirl automatically doesn't come out until after The Flash comes out.
Yeah.
So, Batgirl's not coming out anytime soon.
December is not a thing anymore. Yeah.
So... We've seen all the Batman we're going to see this year in fucking The Batman.
2022, yeah.
Yeah, so that really sucks. So that means Batgirl doesn't come out until... She probably maybe comes out a month or two after, is what I'm going to assume. Yeah. So now you're not going to see Keaton until 2023, and that means we're not going to see Nightwing until 2023. But does this give time to clear up Affleck's schedule? Is it a possibility? What are your chances, do you think? Because if Discovery is this new player, right? If they're like, hey, we know you fucking dealt with all this bullshit, because they're, we got Ray Fisher over there spreading his stuff all the time, thinking like, oh, Discovery, you need to get rid of Emirates and all this shit. Like, still doing whatever the fuck he's doing, talking shit about James Gunn for no reason. But maybe Discovery's thinking about making some changes. And maybe they're like, hey, know, man. We know that you didn't like these people. And granted, this is all speculation. I'm just throwing this off the top of my dome. Don't try to run a story with this or anything like that.
I was going to say, the tables have turned here.
I'm just saying, if Discovery saw all the drama and they want a clean house, and they're like, yeah, we don't want to deal with people or whatever, which I don't think they're going to get rid of Hamada or anybody. I think they're all staying. But if there is some type of new management, they're like, hey, we know shit went down with Joss Whedon or whatever. Would you be willing to come back and do some stuff if we, meet X amount of demands that you want or whatever? Yeah. And maybe Affleck's like, cool, let me write my own Batman script or do whatever again. Because if it is just, they could just throw it on HBO Max if they wanted to, if they don't want to fuck with Reeves' stuff. Because that Reeves talking about that Batman script seemed pretty fire. Yeah. The action-packed bunch of cameos that was deeply tied into the DCEU. I don't know what they're going to do with Keaton. They need a Batman. And especially if we start seeing more of this mixed reviews about the fighting and stuff in The Batman, they're like, we need an exciting Batman over here. Because, let's be real. If kids are not liking The Batman, who's going to be buying The Batman toys? Yeah. We know that merchandising is the big thing. So you want something cool. You want that flashy Batman that's going to sell tickets. I don't know if Michael Keaton's going to be selling tickets to being, his kind of Batman. So you need that kind of Batman. Unless they're giving time to maybe flesh out Keaton, Robin kind of a Nightwing story, I don't know.
This is an interesting development, you throwing this at me. I don't think so. Him saying I'm no longer Batman and then coming back for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a last hurrah. And then he's like, oh, a real last hurrah for the Flash. Yeah. And then them coming back to him for a third time being, hey, I know this was your last hurrah, but if we give you a couple $1 million, can you be Batman for going forward? Yeah. I don't know, man. That's
money talks, bro.
money
Money
talk.
talks.
Money talks, but like
And he's got J-Lo now. Come on.
he's got J-Lo.
He's
His
in a better
movie with
place.
Ana de Armas is coming out on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Which, dude, that movie looks fucking wild.
I'm just waiting for her Marilyn Monroe movie because it's
Oh
N17. I'm just like,
yeah.
yeah, bring it on. But yeah, I don't know.
I will go 70-30 on 70 being no,
Yeah.
30 being there's a possibility.
Yeah, I probably agree with that too. I'm just saying, like, there has to be a reason they're pushing it. There has to be.
Now, I don't know if it's real. There was a screenshot of
Mhm.
James Wan talking about how he just recently finished Aquaman in January, and he said that there was, like, in this message, in this DM, that there was no way he could possibly be finished by December. And I'm like,
Mm.
that's rough. Like, if you
It's a lot of
think,
CGI though.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess that's just me being ignorant to
But
how
3 months? Only 3 months? Like extra? Just kind of weird. If he said there's no way to be possibly done by December,
yeah,
you know?
I don't know what that entails. And like I
Yeah.
said, that may be me being ignorant to the idea of like how CGI or how intensive CGI
Yeah.
is, but we'll see. And then with the Flash, like I told a friend this, like, if it's not fucking done after 6+ years,
Yeah.
throw it in the fucking trash, dude. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
dude. Like, I don't know.
Get done with it and just be like, hey, this was a movie we attempted. And like, oh, well, if it needs to be polished, I would much rather wait for it a year than for it to be like just unfinished. I was like, bitch, you were about to watch a Zack Snyder Justice League movie with stills, and you said you were willing to watch it.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that the Flash needs to be polished? Bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Although I am somebody that would be willing to wait. I still need those 3 issues redone by Clayman. So but yeah, anyways, ponder with that what you will, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know in the comment sections down. Do you think this is an opening for Ben Affleck to try to come back? So give him time to get back in shape and do all that kind of stuff. Like, if they were to throw Downey Jr. money at him, like, he's gonna come back.
If you tell Ben Affleck, hey, you were our Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
in the DCEU, I think he might fucking do it.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to. Just to clarify, I don't think
Yeah.
he's going to come back. But there has to be a reason they did all this because you're just pissing off your fan base.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm curious at why. Maybe this will come out in the next few months. Who knows? But either way, Clay's got to get running, ladies and gentlemen. Clay, what do you got going on this week?
Yes. So, of course, majority of what we just talked about, the dates and all of that, we will be discussing on DC Alliance. I just did an episode on Star Wars Alliance breaking down the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer,
Looks fire.
which is looking great, looking amazing. Now, there is a moment where Obi-Wan Kenobi is using binoculars, and I was like, ooh, Pattinson, like, level
Yeah.
creeper over here.
Yeah.
But
I was
that is looking great. So go check that out. And as as you're listening to this, I have already recorded an episode of Marvel Alliance. We are going to be talking about some rumors of Daredevil, Scarlet Witch being the head of 2 projects in the future. A lot of stuff happening in the Marvel verse. So if you are a fan of all of that, go check that out as well.
Don't give a shit until I see the X-Men. And I won't give a shit if their costumes blow dick. So that'll be it. Go check out my YouTube channels, ladies and gentlemen. Links in that are in the description. If you are listening to this on YouTube, just go to the YouTube channel tab. You'll see all my stuff there. And also, I'm on Twitter now, by the way. If you guys want to just hit me up over there, Juice from the Box, go check it out. I don't know if that's on my social tags, so I'll have to update that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, come join the Discord. It's where we talk all week when we're not doing this. But that's going to be it. As always, he is Fanboy Clay. I am Juice Wayne. And remember, Batman is awesome.